Twinkle steel.
An ender pearl.
Cool man sandwich.
And I am Steve. Beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the N10 podcast, episode 21. We're legal to drink. Woohoo! Woo! Fantastic.
In the United States, anyway.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, everywhere else we were probably fine. But
Yeah,
that
also,
was,
that just dated this whole podcast just then. I just
my
want
God,
that to
you're
be
right.
known.
That's so true, actually, because it's crazy that we think we were doing some research when we were looking at the old episodes. Episode 1, I believe, was 2020. I'm pretty sure it was during 2020.
Whoa.
So this podcast is about to be 5 years old. Or maybe
We
it
have
already
21 episodes. That's it.
is. I know.
21.
Yeah, that shows our
That's the worst.
yeah, that shows our
Oh,
track record.
dedication.
Huh? Yeah, really, for sure. But honestly, before we get started, I'll let them know before as well. I just want to say thank you guys who have watched the newest episode, and honestly, who have been watching since day one. It's really awesome just to kind of look back and see that, hey, we're not fully washed. N10 still has some kind of traction going on there, and hopefully, we'll make some new friends along the way. And yeah, thank you guys for the support. Big round of applause to you.
We still got some content stains on us.
Yeah. Of course we do. But of course, if you're here and you said, "All right, nice guy," enough of you yapping. Let's just hop to it. Of course, I'm joined by Dag, Key.
Hello.
There you go. Key, the Litz, aka Litztendo, and of course, Nice guy here, rocking the hair down today. Look, I think honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'd say, this group kind of has some of the best hair in N10. Just kind of. I didn't expect that. But hey, no,
I mean,
best,
he's got
best,
the
wait,
best
yeah, facial hair, bro.
beard.
Facial hair, bros. Actually,
Best
look,
beard right there.
all four of us have some nice facial hair. There we go. That's what I meant. That's what I meant by
Is
that.
this
Yeah.
what the kids do? The mewing?
Yeah,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. But yeah,
I don't understand the Mew thing.
Yeah.
I thought Mew was a Pokemon. But
It is,
apparently
but-
not.
Oh my god, dude, there's gonna be a whole generation of kids that don't know that Mew is a Pokemon. Do you realize that?
Bro,
I
there's
hope
a whole
not, dude.
generation of kids that don't know what a DS is.
Oh god.
No.
Instead, all they're gonna know is $80 games. But we're gonna get to that later. But of course, if you're watching this episode, you're probably wondering, hey, what are you guys gonna talk about today? Well, we have a lot. Obviously, if you know, you know. The Nintendo Direct Switch 2, the full title, I think that's what it was called, Switch 2 presentation, was this past Wednesday, and we all did reactions to it. We all watched it live. Litz here was in New York at the Nintendo store watching it live in person. What do you got? Incredible. If you could just
Oh
sum
my
it up
God.
in a couple words, what do you got?
Well, you knew it was a big deal when they whipped out the second monitor I didn't know they had for the first floor.
Small ass monitor,
they,
right?
they split us up. The first floor gang and the second floor gang. They're gonna make us go at it for who's gonna react to the direct better.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we always see like your clips of whenever you go for directs or game launches, and it always looks like a fun time in New York. I think besides Dag, all three of us have been to the New York store. Although,
Well, yeah, 'cause
I've
that's
been
where
to
we
the New
first
York
met.
store.
wait, when?
Yeah, Dag has been in the New York store.
I've
Yeah.
been. My Switch is from the New York store.
Really? Huh?
Before joining N10, I went to New York, and that's where I got my Switch.
Really?
How come I didn't
I did not
this
know that.
lore?
Wait,
What?
Is
No,
this?
I have a picture. We'll put it on the video right now.
Yeah, here's a
Of
picture.
me in the New York store. That's where
How
they got
how
my
did
Switch.
I not know that? I feel like a fraud. I feel like I don't even know my own brother, man. What's going on? I am so sorry.
Well,
Well,
I knew that you'd been to the New York store. I didn't know that about the Switch thing. That's
yeah,
interesting.
I had no idea, man. That's awesome. That's
I got it like 3 months after the Switch launched.
oh yeah.
I was not at the launch line, but
Mhm.
I have my picture with the CND mailbox and everything. So yeah.
Sick.
Of
yeah.
course.
Well, okay. Well, my bad. All four of us have been to the New York store. Obviously, Litz has been there the more frequently than us, but I mean, we can all tell you it's a great place to be. It's always cool to see what new stuff they got, and it changes constantly too. So you'll never know what's going to be new next time you go in. But yeah. Besides that, Direct just happened. We were absolutely floored by it. You can each go one by one if you want, just kind of talk about like what your biggest takeaway was from it. But I think overall, just like it just felt so good to have just a direct, just so much new stuff. And like, you're expecting
yeah.
you're expecting a few things, like, oh yeah, just talk about the hardware pricing. Well, they didn't talk pricing, but like, stuff we normally expect. But then just to see the games, the announcements, like oh hey, like there's more stuff coming. Hey, these are the updates we have. It just felt like a direct from the good old days. And I think it's kind of funny that compared to the first or to the direct a week ago, huge difference, huge increase in quality. Obviously, Switch 2. But enough of me. We can just go ahead and break it down. Dag, I think you want to start this off, so go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, I honestly feel this has been one of the best directs ever. Besides the announcement of a new console, all the games that they showcase are games that are, games that we want, that we were expecting. It's not like, for example, whenever, like, for example, the past direct, Tomodachi Life. Many people are excited for Tomodachi Life. I personally have never played Tomodachi Life, so I couldn't care. And I feel like a lot of the general audience did not care about that game besides a very specific group of people. But I feel like this direct had something for everyone. And that's just something that I absolutely love about this direct. One of the best.
Beautiful.
Well,
Beautiful.
I agree.
Something for everyone if you have the money for it.
Oh,
He's got a
Hey,
good point.
Before we get into that,
We'll get to
though,
that. We'll get to that in a second.
Let's stick to the positives first.
Key,
Okay?
Key, what do you
Don't
got?
want to be all doom and gloom, right? Honestly, I haven't really been excited for like Nintendo stuff in a hot minute, mostly because I just haven't been like getting games that I want. But this was like chock full of stuff that I feel like catered to me, not just like the average Nintendo fan that thinks that Tomodachi Life is still niche or something. Zelda stuff everywhere. Fucking new Donkey Kong game, GameCube games. Like it's just loaded, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The GameCube was something I think we all grew up on, and to finally have that after everyone was asking for it was just yes, they listened.
yes.
Yeah, very, very true.
I think that's what it was. Just like they listened to just about every request that we could possibly like give them, and now we're seeing it come out. I got no notes except for pricing, which we're gonna get
After
into later.
post direct. Litz, you were there. You felt the energy.
The cow! They added the cow! Oh my god.
Ow.
No one knew the heated discussions I was having behind the scenes with people being like, they're gonna add that fucking cow from Moo Moo Meadows into
Really?
Mario
You
Kart. And they're
guessed
like,
it?
no, it's just a cow. I'm like, dude, the model's too big. That people want that in. They made it into a Mii costume. And did you know that's the only Mii costume? If you do a trick off the ramp, it twerks.
Yep.
Did you even know that all the Mii costumes have
They
a
like
special
emotes, yeah.
trick animation? Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the cow, oh my god. Look. I have my mains. It's pretty easy to figure me out, but once I saw that cow on the screen, he's mine. And the dolphin. Oh my god, they added the dolphin too.
I hate to burst your bubble too though, but in the game they did show the cow ate the burger. So
Ooh.
I hate.
Listen.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
Don't think about it too hard.
It's survival of the fittest, and that cow had to hurt a lot of people to get to where he's at right now.
The cow from Moo Moo Meadows was actually a really big highlight, bro. I popped off for that.
I agree. That's actually very, very good. For me, I mean, yeah, we all did reactions to it. Mine, I think there was just so much going. I think once you got over the bit of audio delay that there was there, then you're like,
Oof.
yeah, that was a bit rough. And I'll get to that later. We know what we're talking about. That big old frozen screen of whatever the hell that game was. We'll get to that in a second too. That was the funniest shit ever. But for me, I think the biggest takeaway, I love when like they just straight up said like, okay, we're just gonna talk to you about the console itself. We're gonna show you the specs. We're gonna do all the nerdy numbers, all that kind of stuff. I tell you, I kid you not. When they said 120 FPS, 4K, I was like, dude, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And I know Cisco, another N10 member, also feels the same way in his reaction. But like, there's something not only just satisfying, but like when you're as a Nintendo fan, I'm sure all the Nintendo fans out there can agree. When you've been, not made fun of, but like kind of been like had your consoles trashed on because, oh, the graphics suck. You're not full HD. 720p, 10 less than that. For years, for decades, right? You have all that going your way. The first HD console you get is the Wii U, and that shit sucked. And then you're like, yeah, dude, your HD console can't do nothing, right? When you finally have something, it's just so cool. It was honestly felt like worth everything. You know what I mean? And obviously, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of the direct and everything, that's just a small footnote. But it's a big footnote. Or sorry, it's a big footnote, but still a footnote.
Not,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
not only that, but the LED screen could go toe to toe with the Switch OLED.
I did hear that
Like
too. Yeah.
and quality has jumped up on, like, imagine an OLED Switch 2, then it's a gift from the heavens. But if how is that an LED screen? It looks so good.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's the thing too. If it wasn't OLED, that price would definitely be a bit higher too. Let's be honest. But I'm thankful it's not. But
Yeah.
it looks great. But yeah, graphic capability hands down was like the biggest thing. Besides the games, was like the holy shit, I'm buying this thing. 4K gameplay. I mean, we've seen some of those games too. But I mean,
And Nintendo's finally up to date with everything else.
Yes.
I think that's just kind of what it is.
That's
at the end of the day.
100%. Yeah, it finally feels so satisfying to be like, we can finally say it. Well, I mean, Nintendo's been on a big comeback ever since the Switch itself, but to see this be the next step in that direction, you're like, wow, that's so cool. But the direct itself, a good hour, had a lot going on. I don't think there was any filler. Key said no notes. But while
They
there's
had
no
their
filler,
usual sizzle reel.
yeah, they did have the sizzle reels. But speaking of sizzle reel, one sizzle reel got a bit too cold, if you will. Some might say frozen live.
Oh god.
Let's. I gotta know, what was the reaction? What was going on?
We were like, oh no, it crashed. And being like, Shigeru Miyamoto must have been like freaking out when that happened. Everyone was like, wait, what? And people were trying to refresh their phones, pulling it up, and we were like, oh my god, the direct crashed. Their main selling point, everyone's hyped for. Probably the most watched Nintendo thing in recent history. And it's like, they fumbled the bag.
Someone
Dude, I
got
was
fired.
looking. There was
With
like
the most
380,000
game ever as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
like-
but you're playing
they
the
couldn't
fishing
froze on.
game, it froze, and then you hear, oh, and we're going to bring Hollow Knight Silk Song to the Nintendo Switch, and you only see a guy trying to fish.
No, I heard. I
No,
heard
it was Final
Final
VII.
Fantasy. I heard. I heard. It's
no,
like
someone was-
Square Enix. We're bringing Final Fantasy out. I'm like, you bitch. Why are you saying this right now? I was like, shut up. I want to see this.
Now
No,
I kind of feel like we have to buy that game just because that happened.
No. For me, I was having a heart attack, bro, because I was reacting to this expecting, oh, they might show Kingdom Hearts news finally. And then I heard, and now from our publishers at Square Enix. I'm like, no, fuck you, no.
I think you, amongst a bunch of other people, were like checking other people's streams and reactions, be like, is it just me, or is like everyone else here
Yeah.
like frozen in
Yeah.
time? So I mean, rest in peace to the guy who got fired. But hey, if you're a big Nintendo fan, now this is 2 console presentations in a row where someone is fucked up so bad. Go back to the Switch 1 presentation with the Japanese translator, who could for the life of him just not say whatever the hell the presenter for like all the Travis game or the No More Heroes games was saying. Just the slowest translator in the world. He's like, this game is coming to Switch. So 2 years in a row now that we've had some sort of mishap, or 2 times in a row, I should say. But only Nintendo.
For 30.
Oh yeah, that's only Nintendo would do something like that. That's why we love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Also reacting to another direct, from either the UK, or was it just me? Like, I switched to Nintendo.
Oh.
The UK.
I think I checked. So some people did like the straight up like Japanese like broadcast too, where they like went like just like to Nintendo like the full on Japanese one, and like that was like seamless. There was no audio delay. There was no like frozen frame. I think it was literally just like Nintendo of America that got screwed over, which it seems to happen a lot more often these days. But oh god, yeah. Honestly, hands down, amazing direct. What's something that surprised you though? So we can go ahead from top to bottom. What's something that really surprised you from the direct?
Oh. I mean, for me, getting a brand new Hyrule Warriors game, I actually loved Age of Calamity. So
Me too.
having Age of Imprisonment, like that really surprised me. That was something that I was not expecting. And of course, the GameCube The GameCube
Yes.
really surprised me. I'm a little like I don't know why they're just starting with 3 games. Like,
Hmm.
come on, at least 5. But 3 games. But that gives me hope for how they started with the NES, then they added the SNES, the Game Boy Advance, and 64. What if they bring the Wii in the future?
It's over. If they bring
Dude,
the Wii, it's
if
over.
they do,
If they
yeah. Oof.
Using your
we
Joy-Cons
are,
as Wii remotes, bro. Like, are
mhm.
you kidding? That'd be so cool.
I'll tell you what,
And something that I want to point out,
mhm.
we're only one Zelda game away from having every single Zelda game playable on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Ooh, you're right.
We are only missing. Well, I mean,
Wait, the
we're still
3DS
missing
games.
the Four
Yeah,
Swords.
there's the 3DS games too.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
So we still have the
right,
You're
right,
handheld
talking. You're,
stuff. You're
you
talking
you out here
console,
thinking the
console.
3D game is the only Zelda game
Hey,
ever. I'm
but
tired
you
of
know
it.
what?
No, I
This
was
is
about
the
to say we're still missing Four Swords, but
I
this
mean,
is
Four
the
Swords,
perfect.
yeah, but Twilight Princess too, and then
Twilight Princess.
if
Yeah,
you want to
Right.
get
and
really
then
technical, Triforce Heroes and A Link Between
A
Worlds.
Link
Link's
Between
Too.
crossbow
Worlds. Yeah,
training too,
I
man.
forgot about
We
those.
need that.
Hey, no, we don't
I
need
forgot
that.
about those. I forgot about
Of
those.
course,
But
of course.
all three Zeldas. All three Zeldas.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
time for them to bring back Triforce Heroes though with the camera.
Oh no,
Yeah.
dude.
That's
Okay,
true.
Oh.
let's talk about the camera really quick.
Yeah,
Okay,
we gotta talk about the Switch
that
Let's
is
look at
the
accessories.
population
worst
port.
part. That was the worst thing they revealed at the direct, and I'll stand by it, bro.
5 frames
Worst
per
thing.
second. Like,
Like literally,
Oh, the game chat? You're
Game
talking about the
share-
camera or just the game chat?
dude. Just use Discord. Just use.
You know
Discord.
Nintendo wants to capitalize on stuff. Listen, and here's the thing, including it with NSO and the Nintendo Switch Online, it makes sense for their whole thing. I get it. But like, yeah, dude,
Well,
like
actually, I actually saw they're actually gonna have the voice chat available for free for the first year.
I did see
after
that,
the Switch
yes.
comes out.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But
But
either way, you're
think
right.
about the kids that do not have Discord. Imagine 8-year-old little Tommy wanting to play
Yeah.
with his friend Ben.
Well, 8-year-old little Tommy shouldn't be video chatting with his friends on Nintendo Switch. I'm just
8-year-old
Why not?
8-year-old
Why
Tommy
not?
has a Switch. We got
Switch 2. We gotta find his parents, man. Where the hell? Where can we get one too, man? Come on. His grandparents probably.
No, I'm saying, bro, like
the
I
grandma's
feel like
loaded.
because you can just add anyone on your Nintendo Switch. Like if you play with them like once,
Yeah.
like through any game. Like imagine just like you friend someone on Switch while playing Splatoon, and then they're like 30 years older than you or something, and then it's like, hey, let's video chat while playing Splatoon.
That's where
could
the
just
that's where the
really-
parental controls come in. Hold on. We saw the little trailer with Bowser and
Yeah,
Bowser Jr.
yeah.
There are parental controls.
That's true. That's what helped relieve me a little bit, but still.
I
What do
hope
you
Daddy
have? You have a
Bowser-
kid? Is that what you're saying? You have a kid here now, Key? You already got a kid? Is that what's going on?
If I had a kid, this would be a weird way to reveal it on a fucking Nintendo
On a podcast.
No,
Hey man,
Fuck that
I've
shit,
seen
no.
Stranger Ways, but shit, that'd be kind of funny.
it would be.
Kid revealing little Sora to the world.
Ooh, so cute. But
I'm
no,
not naming my kid Sora, but you know.
hey man, we'll see. But no, but I mean, I would agree with that too. I think showing the choppy ass gameplay of Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, but what was that? Balloon Fight? You know, the old NES game. Why?
Yeah, everyone was like, "Of course, who's the jackass playing balloon fight?" Which is crazy.
No, and then
He can't afford those
like-
Switch 2 games, man. He's got to play something.
You gotta play the free online game.
I mean, I'll admit it's kind of cool that you can like play different games and screen share them, so you can like watch what your friends are playing. But still, yeah, who the fuck's gonna be playing Balloon Fight over like any other game that's on the Switch? Even on Switch Online, there's so many.
My
Other
mom
games.
sold the car so I could play my Switch, but we can't play any games, so we're playing balloon fight.
I'm selling my kidney next
Wait,
week.
isn't Balloon Fight just like like oh wait. No, you can play with other people. You can do online multiplayer, that's true. But everyone else is playing a different
They
game,
ain't
so
playing.
who are you playing with? The computer?
I don't
That's-
know, man.
You're right. But overall, I think listen, I'm scared to say it because I'm already seeing comparisons. People are really getting Kinect vibes from this thing, from this camera.
Yeah.
I made that connection like right away. Like
Me too.
Nintendo, you took 4 steps forward to catch up with everyone, and then you took like a couple more steps back to 360. That was like 2 generations ago, man. Come on.
No, Nintendo's like, okay, we finally caught up, but we're still gonna push our ideas onto you. They're still trying to bring the Wii U back desperately. No.
Yeah.
Look, we created a mouse.
Oh yeah, bro.
Wait,
bro,
you
okay,
already
okay.
have a Switch 2 Joy-Con! Bro.
Dude, listen here. Look
No,
right here
however, imagine games like Splatoon or Marvel Rivals
with my.
using the mouse.
But how
Dude,
would
yeah.
you?
I hear you.
That could work. That could
Bro,
work.
I'll, I'll fire up ranked with all of you on the Switch version.
Oh my god, the frames, the frames. Actually, no, the frames
Playing
gonna be. Frames are fine. The frames are fine. The game share is gonna look shit.
It's just gonna be your internet. If the internet is gonna be
yeah.
the main thing.
Hey, there's an
Yeah, you're gonna
Ethernet
figure it
port
out
for a
then.
reason. There's an Ethernet port for a reason, man. Get a wired connection.
Dak.
Oh, sorry, Dad. But going back to the mouse thing, I think it is a really interesting thing to have Joy-Cons be mice now. But like, the thing is, like, it's just gonna be like, kind of weird holding it. You know what I mean? Because so here's my
It has a
know.
different shape. It
Here's
has a
yeah.
different shape.
One, it is a larger Joy-Con too. This is my OLED Joy-Con, my Splatoon one. All right, this is a small one. I get it. But even like right now, like just kind of like you're sliding across. First off, you better have a protective thing for this. They gotta make something because you're literally just, like rubbing it on the table. Use a desk mat.
Magnum
thing.
sliders.
Oh my god, yeah.
Another thing I saw, someone tested it. You can actually do it on your pants, and it works perfectly. The mouse.
Okay,
you can use
so
it on
yeah,
your
I'm
pants.
sorry for our.
was playing with your head like this, and it worked
Yeah.
perfectly.
Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're telling me, Key. Sorry for this in advance. You're telling me you're gonna be having your game share on. You're gonna have doing it on your pants. You go, wow, guys, this is going so well.
Yeah, here's the new Mario Party game.
That's
Hey,
what I'm not
Mom,
getting a
I'm
camera,
winning
bro.
Mario Party. Whoa.
You're like, let's go. Come on, keep going.
Mom, I'm doing this.
We're a bunch of jackasses, dude.
This is who the Switch 2 was designed for. Keep in mind, all right. This is not
Yeah.
a kid's console.
And Nintendo's going to sell like legit tables for these things, being like, oh, you don't have a flat surface to play your Switch 2 on? Well, we're gonna bring back the living room table, guys. But we're gonna put the Switch logo.
Even better,
69,
Nintendo
99.
Labo as a table.
Oh
It's
my
the
god.
Nintendo
This is
table.
Oh
where
my god, you could build your own furniture. That's where they're gonna go with this.
Labo was just the test. They're like, build your own toys? Nah, build your own furniture now. Oh my god.
Order the new Labo now and get a free Froggy chair from Animal Crossing.
Whoa. Okay, now you're talking. That sounds like a good deal to
I
me.
would actually buy a froggy chair that works as a table as well.
I would
So
too.
a froggy table.
I won't lie.
Okay.
Yeah, Froggy
A
table.
frog-
It's a
Yeah.
big ass. That'd be a
Animal
big ass
Crossing
table.
furniture would go so hard though. You know?
I think they've
If
probably
you
thought
get
about
enough
doing it
in,
before.
And they sold actual Animal Crossing furniture in IKEA. I don't care.
Yeah, partner with IKEA.
They will.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just partner with IKEA, make it happen. You'll make a lot of people happy. Nintendo.
Yeah.
We're the idea guys.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
This is we're not the workhorses for no reason. Just saying. It is what it is. But yeah, I think overall, like, just final kind of thoughts about game chat. I get that, like, it's new and it's innovative. And it's a Nintendo thing, right? Obviously, and I'm thankful that we don't have to use that stupid ass Nintendo Switch Online app to voice chat anymore, with the headset plugged into your phone, plugged into your console at the same time. That's great. The only thing too that the only gripe I have right now is before they announced it was like, oh, the microphone's on the Switch. How the hell? And they have like, oh, voice isolation. But how the hell you're telling me I'm sitting all the way back here? I'm raising my voice so my microphone can pick it up right now. How the hell are you telling me my Switch of all things is gonna get that? Right?
I don't know, man.
So they
I
did
think
say
it
audio
had-
jack
The
on the
controller.
Pro.
The controller.
Yeah,
controller has to be-
but after that they did announce that the Pro controller does have the audio jack, so you can't put a headset. But yeah, at that point, just
So
use
fun
that.
fact.
That's gonna be the only way I'm playing. I'm not trusting the fucking surround sound bullshit. Forget
You
it.
could use any Type C camera
Yes.
and microphone, I heard. So the Elgato could work on it.
It's true. That's what I was thinking of doing because I
I
don't
need to
think
get
I
a
wanna-
better microphone, bro. This mic, I've had this mic for like 10
Oh.
years.
You could probably. They have the Piranha Plant camera now. Just wait for the Piranha Plant microphone.
Ah, yes,
good.
there you go. No, the
Bro, I'm not gonna
pokey
be a-
pokey microphone or something.
Dude, I'm gonna grab that Piranha Plant microphone and be like, "You suck!"
It shoots a fireball at you.
No, fuck.
It's gonna look stupid, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I can't.
I think
But
one
yeah,
of us is
we'll
gonna end up
talk.
getting it at some point though. So the four of us are making fuzz. Someone in N10 is gonna get all the accessories.
No, I
alright?
know, bro. Aiden's ass is definitely gonna get that. Cisco, Fahad already confirmed he's getting it. I know
Yeah.
they're a bunch of
Has one
Nintendo
already.
shills. All right,
Yeah.
you guys will buy anything. I
I'm gonna
swear.
get it.
Oh man, oh man. But all right.
And I know
Besides,
Leeds
yeah.
will too.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, man. Besides that, all right. Anything else really about the direct? Oh, we were talking about surprises a little bit. But for me at least, yeah, I think the Oh, okay. There's another gripe I have. Okay. I feel like I'm contradicting myself too when I say this. But like, oh, it was a phenomenal. It was a great direct, but obviously not everything about it was great. And of course, if there's one thing that unfortunately Nintendo's now fumbled 2 times in a row as well, it's their tech demos. And I really
yes.
don't understand. And listen. Okay, I saw the price, $6. Now I was wholeheartedly prepared to have another 1-2 switch situation where it's gonna be like $50. I would have been like, no way. $6, not bad, but still, the premise is there. You're paying $6 for a museum, essentially. Not even a museum.
Micro games, if you will. You
Yeah.
could play the original Mario Bros on it.
I did see.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the Treehouse. But they're like,
Oh,
you need
I
a
did see that.
4K.
Demo, right?
You need
Why
a
would I
4K
pay
TV.
$6? Dude, I can play that for free on the
Oh
Switch
wait,
Online
because
thing.
I saw. Yeah, so like it shows like if you're playing on a 4K TV, you can play the original Mario Brothers at the original scale, which means that it's like way smaller. So you're playing the entirety of like level of World 1-1 on the same screen. Like it's not like side scroll. It's literally on the exact same screen. It's the entirety
Oh.
of Mario. Yeah, it's because that's how small that's how small the resolution was back then.
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
but $6 though.
It's interesting, but not worth.
Yeah, I don't know about
$6.
for $6. I'm not that interested in Mario.
If it
How much was it on the
$1,
3DS
it was
shop?
$1.
Hmm.
I
I heard
No,
what was it? I heard
maybe.
some story.
We'll still like try it.
Oh no, I think it was from the book. I still have to read Reggie's book. I still haven't gotten a chance to, and I really want to. But there's an expert from it. From I heard from sources and from what I saw, that Reggie like actively fought, to have, was it Wii Sports?
Oh yeah.
Be
it was Wii
free,
Sports.
to be like included with all Wii's and like be like part of it, because Nintendo's one of the guys that they think that nothing they make should be free, regardless if it's a phenomenal like a crazy big title game or even just the smallest like shovelware game. So he actually fought for having Wii Sports be included, so people could
Like
fully
as part of Wii.
hmm
Yeah.
That's why Wii Sports and Nintendo Land are as popular as they are, because it came free with the console. This Nintendo Museum tech demo could have been just as popular if it was free.
hmm
Now no
Well,
one's like,
let's not
hey,
get
I
ahead of
ain't buying
ourselves. You
that.
can't be as popular as Nintendo Land and Wii Sports, bro. You can't just get that overnight, and you can't do it with
Nah.
Mario Brothers on a bigger TV. Like, if that's the main selling point, bro, I'm sorry, that's not competing with Wii Sports.
Yeah, and PlayStation
You're
already
right,
did it
themes.
with what's it, Astro's Playroom. I know that was their big part of it, is having
Yeah.
that be free.
Yeah,
Mm.
it
On
was
the
so
PS5.
much fun.
Yeah,
And it turned into a AAA game.
exact at one game of the year. Okay. This is out Nintendo. You see what you're doing here? This PlayStation is still They did this for the point where they turned a tech demo into a full-on AAA game that win Game of the Year. Isn't that crazy? I'm realizing now how crazy that is.
Inspired by Nintendo.
Exactly right.
So-
Come on.
I mean,
We're gonna see
PlayStation
Nintendo
does
Welcome
Nintendo
Tour
what Nintendo
win.
don't.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is
so
what this is all.
PlayStation is doing Nintendo better than Nintendo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
However, well, to a point, before the Switch 2, I'd say, maybe for that one game possibly, but like, pricing. And
Yeah, the
that's-
one game that PlayStation does have.
Whoa, hey. But that's enough for
Whoa.
another time. But I think this is a good segue into,
Don't
of
worry,
course,
don't worry.
the pricing, because I think now, I saw that tag. You have to, consider, if you don't know, I don't know how the hell you don't know this, but Switch 2 games, gonna kind of run you a couple dollar bills
Raise
there.
the prices! Raise
Oh
the
my
prices!
God. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Who wants to take this off? Because I'll give my little spiel about it. But
Okay.
so actually, real
I'll
quick
go.
too. Okay. Yeah. Because I know we have someone here who is not from the United States. So obviously, you have another point of view of this as well. So take it away.
So I already made a whole video about this entire thing, but if it's $80, you're paying $80 per game. I don't know if it's only for Mario Kart 8, like Tears of the Kingdom was 70 and the rest of the games on the Switch one was 60, and now every game is going to be 70 except for Mario Kart World. I said it. Mario Kart World is going to be 80, but what you guys are paying in the US add 20 extra bucks, and that's how Canada is feeling and how Mexico is feeling. So we're paying more or less 100 American bucks for these
Oof.
games. I want to tell my specific side. I am studying. I'm still in college, and I do a part-time job. I barely gain enough money for one Nintendo Switch 2 game without dividing that on other expenses, on savings, and all of that. It's becoming really hard to be a Nintendo fan and a gamer uh, during this era, especially if now it's becoming a norm to pay $80 per game. And I recently watched a Moist Critical video about this topic
Love
as well.
Charlie.
Yeah, and he talked about GTA 6. Before thinking that GTA 6, that Rocksteady, is it Rocksteady or Rockstar? I don't know. Rocksteady,
Rockstar.
right?
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Mhm.
Rockstar could charge $80 was just out of this world. Now, if Rockstar wants to charge $100, $120 for GTA 6, they can do it. Nintendo just raised the bar, making every price possible.
Mhm.
That's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's very telling that Nintendo loves to be first in a lot of stuff. This first, not great at all. And even you know if you think about it, too, for GTA 6, we got price rising, we got game inflation before GTA 6, right? It's crazy to think about. But yeah, this is like insane to imagine now that like video games can be this expensive. Like comparatively, a Pro controller or a Switch 2 Pro controller is the same as Mario Kart World. That's like wow. I mean, and I also want to make a video about that as well, just kind of my overall thoughts about it. And I'm sure all four of us here too. Like we are prime examples of being a collectors. We're not just gamers. We don't just play video games. We collect. We have stuff that we've gained over the years, whether it's games, memorabilia, figures, amiibo, Pringles cans, milk. I have milk here for whatever reason. But yeah, but
For your
like
Mario cereal.
exactly. Oh yeah, of course. Thank you. But yeah, like we collect. We like the idea of having stuff from our childhood, stuff that reminds us of like, hey, we played games like this like crazy, whether it's like our 3DS or Switch or Wii U behind me, right? Um, so for the collector, it's gonna be a lot harder, and I think the general public, general people who will just play games casually, they're thinking like, dude, like I can't even like, make this my new hobby if I want to like, get into like Nintendo Switch gaming or Nintendo Switch 2 gaming. It's going to cost me, pretty much, you know, a new controller to play a single game. Now, granted, Mario, from what we're seeing so far, Mario Kart World does have a lot to offer, but I don't think that $80 price tag is still justified overall.
No.
Problem is though, right? Mario Kart. It is
Hmm.
probably still the most sold Nintendo Switch game. And because of that, and because they've been milking it since the Wii U, they know that you put some brand new shiny Mario Kart game on their new console, people are still gonna buy it. Like it's a guaranteed thing. You can charge 100, you could charge $200 even if you really wanted to, and people would still get it. Because
Mhm.
it's a new Mario Kart. It's a popular game, especially for parties and shit. And there isn't like a set price tag for every Nintendo Switch game going forward, as we're seeing. Like if you
Yes.
just look at all the games that are like announced like day one, Donkey Kong I believe is still 70, which
Yeah.
was
For
about the
now.
same as Tears of the Kingdom, which is a bit insane to me. But that's a new 3D platformer. That makes sense. But then you have games like I don't know, fucking
Kirby.
Street Fighter,
Oh
or
yeah,
yeah, no
Street
Kirby.
Fighter.
Yeah, like Street Fighter doesn't make much sense to me, unless it's like some brand new feature to add to it. But then there's one other thing, right? I was seeing this talked about like quite a bit recently. If you really think about it, like a lot of the games that were announced, like Kirby, or like Breath of the Wild and stuff, um, if you think about it, a lot of that stuff is kind of what we're already paying. If you think about it, like, um, you know how like a lot of games have DLC now, and they usually come out and they're normally like an extra 10, $20, sometimes even 30.
Yeah, the
Eh,
Mario Kart 8 pass was 25, I think, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Mhm.
For
And
free
then
with Nintendo Switch Online.
True.
yeah, or free. Like that's the thing with Breath of the Wild. We're getting that update for free if you have the Switch Online app already, and that's great. the thing with Kirby, right? That's gonna be like an extra $20, and that is because the content we're getting with it is kind of like DLC.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Yeah.
just like new cosmetics or whatever. That you do have to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is still expensive, but it is kind of the same thing. I'm not gonna justify it. I think that spending $80 on a game outright instead of like $60 now and another 20 if you feel like playing the DLC later, it's not exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, you know,
Yeah, because like, what's
It's-
stopping me from like getting like, you know, let's say I get Metroid Prime 4, right? On like the Switch version. Let's say I play it and I enjoy it, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is worth it to get the upgrade. Then boom, you can get the upgrade. But at that point, you know, what would stop you from originally being like, well, what if I just get the Switch 2 version, which is what I think that's 80, right?
80 or
They
90,
don't
I
have
don't
the
know.
price for Metroid. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'll look at. Oh yeah.
I mean, if they have it already, yeah. But like, yeah, you're right. But they probably don't. But like, yeah, a prime example of like, you know, you're gonna start choosing people choose now. Like, okay, well, if I just get the regular Switch version, I can still play it. Like, that's the one of the best things about it is that the Switch 2, you can play your Switch 1 games, and you know, there will be enhancements regardless. But if you want like the full, if you're like a big graphics guy, if you really want to play in fully 4K, which, you know, I kind of want to do, then you could see yourself like, hey, like, you know, maybe I could buy that upgrade, and then, you know, if you think about it even beforehand, you're like, okay, well, maybe I could just buy it. But I feel like the route I'm gonna go personally, I think I'm just gonna buy Switch 1 games, and then if they do have the expansion or like the upgraded ability, do it if I like actually want to keep playing the game like that.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna definitely. Sorry, Dad, go ahead.
Yeah, but talking about Mario Kart, what if they eventually add DLC as well, and it's another 20?
Ooh.
How do
Yeah.
you feel about that? For example,
It's
when they
definitely
decide
getting
to
a
add
deal.
finally add Kirby to Mario Kart,
Ooh.
and you have to pay $20 for Kirby and some
I
Kirby
don't think
Yeah,
related
that's
I don't
$100
think just
total.
Kirby's $20, but I see what you mean though. Absolutely, I think, you know, I'm also thinking, let's say, Arceus got free DLC, but I'm thinking like for Legends ZA, is that the type of game? Or no, even ahead, maybe let's say like for Gen 10, because now Generation 10 is more than likely going to come out on the Switch 2, and you're going to probably get DLC for that, depending on whatever the hell they do for it. If you're already spending like 80 or maybe 70, yeah, you're going to spend what, like $80, like fully once you get the DLC.
Yeah,
Going
and
to pay
you also gotta realize like
$160
that there isn't gonna,
plus
there's no
DLC.
guarantee either, right? Like that
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
be
true.
getting Switch versions for every Switch 2 game that comes out. There's gonna become a point where Switch games are like just non-existent, and it's gonna be just Switch 2. So mainline games like the Pokemon game are just gonna be 80 straight up, you know.
Mhm.
So we have those options right now about, like you said, getting the Switch version and then upgrading to Switch 2 if we feel like it, but not really a guarantee of that going forward. And that's where
But
it's
I
gonna
feel
get kinda
like
rough.
Yeah.
they're going to stop releasing Switch games mid 2026 after they release Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah.
That's
That
going
would
Is
to
be
that
be
wild
confirmed?
though.
that's going to be the last Switch
Okay,
games.
so wait, is that confirmed or is that just like a speculation?
No, that's just my theory, but
Oh.
I
I
mean,
A
think
game theory.
I do think though I think you're right. They will stop making Switch 1 games, but maybe I'm thinking like around 2030, maybe a little bit before then.
2030. Whoa. Okay.
I mean,
hold
guys,
on.
think
Dude,
about
we're
it.
on the Switch 3 by then. What are you talking
Guys,
about?
I hate
No,
to
no, we're
let
not
you
getting
know.
to Switch 3 that soon.
No, we're not. I hate to break it to you guys, but we actually are kind of 5 years away from 2030.
You don't
Once
have to
I
age
was
me like
7
that.
I'm
years
sorry.
old.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, enough crisis for one.
Once 2030 comes around, bro, I'm turning 30 and then I'm retiring, bro.
Retiring.
I can't. I'm retiring from YouTube, bro.
Oh,
I can't be
YouTube.
doing this
I
anymore.
say, dude, we're not
I
gonna.
would be doing. By the time 2030 comes around, I will have been doing YouTube for 15 years, dude. I can't.
Holy.
I can't.
People like that's like people like PewDiePie right now have been doing YouTube for like that long.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Wow.
unless it becomes my job, I am actually just gonna retire.
Go hang it
I'll
up.
be deceased.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll be digging my grave out back if you guys need me.
Mhm.
He's
Oh,
due
yeah.
for a pension check.
Yeah,
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah, that's actually crazy. But that's like a whole other episode. We could talk about that. But like, yeah, we're going back to like the meat and potatoes of it all. I think that just the pricing. I think what's crazier to me too, and I know I saw Litz, you tweet about it a couple times. I think the sheer amount of like, not backlash, but like outcry of like bring down these prices. Like you were saying yourself, and the Treehouse Directs that are the Treehouse Lives that were today and yesterday, the entire chat was just filled with people saying lower the prices.
That's
Yeah.
all it ever was. Nothing was about the games, and they were saying some really interesting stuff. Like nothing. There was not a dull moment in those Treehouse presentations. Like that was the opportunity to learn everything, but no one gave it a chance. Every single comment was lower the prices. Or you have the jackasses saying raise the prices. It was either or. It was
Raise
either
the
or. Nothing about how wow, this Donkey Kong game's cool, or can't wait to try this new Mario Kart. It's like, I ain't buying that.
Cisco said this too, I think in his video, and I agree with it. I don't think I know anyone that is happy in their life to be spending more money on something, you know? Maybe if it's just like, oh, like maybe it's like if it's like a car or a house or something, like, oh, like I paid a good about and I'm getting great stuff out of it, right? But like,
But see, that's status, right?
yeah, exactly, like,
Bro,
100%.
But that's how it is now, right? That's how it's becoming.
Yeah.
People that say raise the prices, they want it to be like a luxury item. Gaming is a luxury hobby now. You know, that's what they're hoping for. But the main outcry of everyone else, you know, the people that actually care about these consoles and actually want to be Nintendo fanboys and consume everything Nintendo, realize they aren't going to be able to do that shit anymore, man.
Oh,
And it's disheartening, you know?
yeah.
I'm so glad I am not nearly as big a Nintendo fanboy as some of the people in this group, because I would not be able to control myself with the number of fucking Nintendo exclusives that are coming out. You guys got new Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, a new Zelda. I mean, I'm getting Zelda, but you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
so much shit
You're not
coming
getting
out.
Mario Kart or Donkey Kong?
No, I'm getting Mario Kart, but I'm getting it with the bundle, so it's $30 cheaper, because I'm still a little
Yeah.
broke boy.
Well,
And you're not getting Donkey Kong?
I'm not really... No, I'm not going to get Donkey Kong.
Well,
I'm passing
mean,
it on
Key,
Kong.
for the three of us, you know, excluding Dag, you know, yeah. Okay, so another thing that just happened today too, tariffs went into effect in the United States. Because of that, the worldwide pre-orders for the Switch 2 were going to go out on April 9th. Today, they announced that only in the United States they are delaying pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 because of the new effective tariffs that have been placed on other countries. Because of that, we are no longer able to pre-order our Nintendo Switch 2s, and they have not said when they're. They said the release date's still the same, but the pre-order date has now been postponed indefinitely. So
Realistically,
You know what that means, Sky? It means we have to go to Nintendo Store and just take it.
That's it. That's literally.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way I'm gonna be able to get one. If I get the Warp Pipe Pass, the only guaranteed way to get one is to fight off people at the line.
oh,
I'm bringing my Keyblade, bruh.
it's gonna be a battle.
I want to say something here.
Go ahead.
I feel like I'm known in the Nintendo community as the first guy in Mexico, right? The first guy who bought Super Mario Odyssey, Smash Bros, and Tears of the Kingdom in Mexico, right? The release date for the Nintendo Switch 2 is around the time I go back to Mexico, because right now I'm living in Spain due to my exchange program. So I actually do not know, because I'm struggling with a subject, if I will be able to go back to Mexico, because pre-orders in Mexico suck. They suck. I, for context, I pre-ordered my PS5. It did not arrive. I waited 6 months because FedEx stole my PS5 twice.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
no, so if I am not in line in Mexico, there's no way I will get the console until like 3 to 4 months after that release. Even then.
It's hard.
So
Gotta get someone to do it for you. Pray there's
Like
someone there.
I already feel so bad for like everyone's gonna want to play this day one, and I feel bad for the people that are gonna have to wait genuinely 3 to 6 months to even a year to actually get a chance to play it. Like I didn't get mine until June.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm talking about it's like a Switch.
Switch,
like
the
regular
first Switch, the first Switch. Yeah.
yeah, no.
Was the first Switch really that scarce?
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
If
At
you did
least
not,
here in
yes.
PA.
if you did not
I had
pre-order,
to
you
wait
had
in
to
New
like
York.
pray.
I was actually in line
Mhm.
in New York 3 months after, and I was in line for like 4 hours in order to buy my Switch.
Jeez.
3 months after.
after
remember
I
that.
was in line
I,
for
I remember
4
like
hours.
I was like trying to call the games places near me, and they were like, nope, we had to be pre-order only. So I remember the reason why I waited in line at Best Buy because there was 2 lines. There was the pre-order ones, and then there was the pray for your luck type of line. So and they said like they have a limited amount, so like they would start cutting off people once they hit that magic number. Unfortunately, I was like number 9 I think in the line, so like I was good to go. But like that's what it boiled down to. Other than that, I probably would have had to wait a little bit, just like Litz.
My mom saw someone walk out of Best Buy with it in a bag, and my mom was like, "How'd you get that?" Stopped the car in the middle of the road, ran in and got it.
Jeez.
Smart.
I guess I got lucky, man, because I mean I wasn't a day one Switch owner. I got my Switch, I want to say like maybe 3 months after it came out, 4 months or something. And my brother-in-law, he got it just to play Breath of the Wild, and I had purchased a Wii U just to play it because that was before the Switch was announced.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And then I had beaten it. I'd sunk in so many hours into Breath of the Wild, and then he comes at me with this offer. It's like, you know what? I only got this for this game. I don't really play anymore. I'll give you the game and the console for $100. I'm like,
Ooh.
done.
Steal. Holy.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a steal. Also, I was kind of his like favorite brother-in-law, so I mean, I guess that counts for something.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, that's what I'm right now. Like I'm a little still worried, but like today I'm not like freaking out. But like I'm not gonna get this console. Holy shit! I'm just like, okay, now it puts into perspective of like, if I'm getting this, like I have to like know as soon as possible. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
You got to lock in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
we're
it.
not freaking out yet because we know we don't have the money. When we know we have the money and it's getting closer, then we're gonna start freaking out.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm
I've
gonna
been
be coming
saving
back
for
from
over a year.
Japan.
I have the money. I have
Oh.
the money. But I'm just
Good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
See why when kids are kids, if you have parents that like love you so much that they'll buy you anything, you guys are so fucking lucky, man. You'll never know what it's like to be an adult just yet, right? They're gonna here's what's gonna happen though. We said this before, I think they're gonna have all their friends are getting Switch 2s. Let's go back to little Tommy. Little Tommy's gonna be like, Mom, Dad, I want to Switch 2. I want to Switch 2. And then like, okay, we'll get you a Switch 2. And then they go into the line, they go to GameStop, and like, 1 Switch, please. They give him the Switch. It's the Switch 1. Mom, Dad, I said I wanted a Switch 2. I said, yeah, you wanted a Switch as well as everyone else, right? No, I wanted a Switch 2. Uh-oh. Yep. It's going to happen at least a couple times.
They should have stuck with the idea of calling it the Super Switch or whatever.
Super Nintendo Switch, yeah.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo
sounds
Switch.
kind of cool. I get why they did it, because obviously you want to try to
They should
differentiate.
have, like it's like a revival of Nintendo. Like I feel like it's their best-selling console, and the Switch is like the successor to the original NES. So why not make the successor to that the Super Nintendo?
I'm glad they didn't call it the new
That's
Nintendo
worked out.
Switch, though. That would have kind of been stupid.
No, fuck
Oh,
that shit.
New
man.
Nintendo Switch. I'm going to get my new Nintendo Switch. Oh, God.
The
I
naming
hate-
conventions of 3DS are so confusing, but I don't even want to get into it because
Oh
I feel
my
like that
God.
take us on a tangent for like
New Nintendo
30 minutes.
3DS XL, new Nintendo 2DS. Oh, my God.
You need to
No.
2DS XL. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Yeah, it was annoying. Anyway,
Nintendo DS, Nintendo DS Lite,
oh, jeez, yeah.
DS
When you're-
Lite.
No.
Stop,
We're gonna go
stop,
on a tangent for
stop.
30 minutes. I don't want
Game
to
Boy Pocket, Game Boy Micro, Game Boy. Oh, anyway,
Knuckles.
and Knuckles,
Game
yeah.
Boy Color Red, Game Boy Color Yellow, Game Boy Color Green.
Oh, he's going. We're losing him. Jeez. Yeah. Oh, if anything, if you're hearing just a bunch of 4 old guys who are not old, 4 guys rambling about money and stuff, just know that it is a weird time for gaming. Where this is definitely a shift in eras, if you will. I think this will definitely be set a precedent for a lot of gaming developers, a lot of companies, a lot of platforms. If you're looking at Microsoft, you're looking at Sony. Obviously, they're taking notes, and they're obviously gonna start making adjustments to their games and pricing as well. It's crazy to think about this whole time. Just kind of break off on a tangent. I don't know if Microsoft are they working on the new Xbox, or are they just all in on Game Pass right now?
I
think
got
they're
no
just
idea.
I think they're just gonna focus on PC now, bro.
Or PC, yeah.
But also, like, am I the only one that thinks that like Microsoft and maybe even PlayStation also does not have the capability to be charging more for their games just yet? because everything that you can play on their consoles, you can pretty much play on PC.
Yeah.
You know,
And the
like
and the people who still have PS4s are just buying the PS4 versions anyway of the
Yeah.
PS.
Yep, they just have their PS4
Yeah.
Pro and they're set for life, right? At that point. You don't need a PS5 Pro at this point.
Definitely not, bro.
Yeah.
$700 and just it's like
Digital
a slightly better
only?
PS5.
Yeah, digital only. Oh, fuck that. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, you know what? That's
I'm glad
actually
Nintendo's not doing it.
well.
Okay.
We
yeah,
can- we
you
can-
caught onto it. You caught onto it.
That
Go
can
ahead.
be our next little subject here. Even though I know we're serious for time a little bit, but we can talk about it for sure. Because in the spirit of collecting, obviously prices are rising up. It's gonna be a lot harder to own these games, to play them. But it's not just that. Obviously, we're seeing new conventions of how are you getting these games in the first place, or what game are you getting? Because there's three that Nintendo specifically revealed and shown that there are new ways to play games. Right? You can get the physical game. You can get the game on the game cartridge. You can get your digital
Which is
download.
more expensive.
Yes. Your physical games are more pricey. Your digital games
Well,
are
actually, I heard that was actually false, and that was just because of the Europe site getting it wrong.
really.
There's some misinformation
Oh, yeah,
going around
there is a
about
lot of
that
it.
that needs looking into, but this is just the general consensus because Nintendo didn't explain themselves. Sorry.
They knew, I think
Zero
that was
price
the whole
tags
plan.
on anything in the direct.
It's free. It's all free, right? But anyway, yeah. So physical game card on an ugly looking kind of box. Not gonna lie, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, the fan
Yeah.
mock-ups are so much better.
They
Oh
are.
my god.
Yeah.
Digital downloads, which you can have on your Switch has what 256 gigabytes, I think they said, something like
Yep.
that. You can buy, but you're gonna need those express SD cards, and those are pricey too, man.
Oh my god!
Or
I was looking at them.
yeah, they're
Two
just
fifty.
There come with
I haven't
one.
seen. I haven't seen anything bigger than a 256 micro express card yet, but that's $50 right off the bat.
That's as much as a Switch 2 camera. That's crazy.
It's as much as what an old Switch
Bro,
game.
I'm
used
getting
to
that
be.
over the Switch
Right.
2 camera. What do you want?
Yeah, right. I get that too. And then
But the Nintendo Switch camera has a piranha.
it's true. It's
Dag,
true.
I don't care.
But that's how you have to play Breath of the Wild 3 with the camera.
Oh my
Because
god.
that's
Dude,
how they
I-
made the new Mario Party DLC.
Okay, that's how they would get me, but there's no way, bro. There's
Could you
no
imagine
I don't know,
a
man.
WarioWare game with the camera?
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. WarioWare is gonna have the camera feature. I'm calling it. They're
No,
absolutely
definitely that, for sure.
right.
Anyway,
But yeah. But the third
physical
physical, digital, and the hybrid.
card.
Hybrid now,
Yeah.
the key card, shout out Key, right here with us. Essentially is you get the game, you get the cartridge, there's nothing on it. You insert it in, you have a download code. You download your game to the key card, and then it's there. So but now you have it, but essentially what you need you need like an internet connection to download it, right? Yeah, I think they said you can play it offline.
Yep.
So once it's on there, you can pop it out and use it as a regular game card. But that's the
Why
thing.
don't you download it onto the
box,
card
yeah.
first?
Yeah,
Nintendo's like, just burn your own game, God damn it! We know
Yeah.
you like to pirate our stuff anyway.
Oh, that's hey, Switch
No,
modding's
that's right.
gonna go crazy.
That's a good point. You could just like put whatever fucking game you want if you have the right like
Code.
computer skills onto that
Oh, yeah.
fucking cart. It doesn't even have to be the one they got the download code for.
Oh, we just unlocked something to talk about.
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ. Dude, I can't wait to play The Last of Us 2. on my Nintendo
Homebrew's coming to
Switch.
the Switch too, baby. This is it. This is their way to get homebrew
Here's
on there.
your bro. I can't wait to beat someone in the back alley at a convention. It's like, hey man, you want this copy of like Conker's Bad Fur Day on the Nintendo Switch? On the Nintendo Switch? What the fuck?
There's gonna be people outside the Nintendo store being like, "Hey kid,
Wanna play
here's,
Gex?
Flappy
here's
Bird.
Doki Doki Literature Club. Here's Dead or Alive 3."
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch. You want it? I got you. Only $700.
Just as a disclaimer, we are not encouraging pirating. games.
No,
That's
yeah.
not-
Yeah,
Only
definitely not.
only pirating that we love
No.
are the Straw Hats.
Pirate games.
It's One Piece.
Yeah, the Straw Hats are the only pirates we love here, right? So that's what matters.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, yeah. So it's weird how they're, and that also goes in with like the weird pricing scale they got for some of these games too, because I'm glad they're explicitly saying which games are going to be fully like physical games and which ones are going to be key card ones. But like, because I think they said, for example, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition is a fully physical game. It's fully all on there on the
64
cartridge.
gigabytes though, which is 1/3 of your storage. Sorry,
Yes,
just saying.
that's exactly. So if you got these
No,
massive games on
that's-
it,
That's not how math works. Hold on.
is it? Yeah, check. Is it 1/3?
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
If it's 256, then
Listen,
no, that's
he's
not
still in
quite a
college.
third.
I've been out of college. I don't know
It's just
anymore.
not, that's like a fifth or something.
Like
It's a
4. I
fourth or
got
something.
4 somehow.
oh, fourth. Oh,
Quarter. Okay,
that's even
yeah.
worse. Or no, wait.
No, that's less
No,
bad.
less.
no. It's less than a third, I think.
Guys, I haven't even been to college, bro. What is
no,
this?
Okay, you know what this just reminded me of?
It's 1/4 of your.
Okay, so real quick. There's a story. This is funny, and this is a very true telling American story. Years ago, because I don't think I was alive for this, but my dad tells me this story all the time. Years ago, Burger King had a thing where he goes, McDonald's has the Quarter Pounder. But Burger King came up with the idea to do a third burger, or like 1/3 of like a burst, like a bigger burger. No one bought it because people thought that 1/3 was smaller than 1/4.
Oh my god, America.
So they straight up said like 3? Hell no, I don't want a third. I want to have a 4th. So people would not buy the 1/3 pound burger simply because they thought that it was less than the Quarter Pounder.
You guys are
Imagine
those
the people
people.
being like, "Hey, I'm on a diet. I'll order the third."
This is awful. This is no longer a Nintendo podcast.
Hey, the Burger King games.
No, and here's the thing, right? You're gonna have your Switch 2 camera on when you eat that 1/3 burger, and you have your Joy-Cons be like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm just gonna eat my delicious burger."
Oh man, I love playing me Mario Karts. Half eating my Whopper Junior.
Oh my god.
Goddamn. Imagine you're just playing, being like, "Who are these people?" Oh,
Dude, I'm scared for the day they have like public lobbies in some of these games like Splatoon. Imagine that, like you join a regular voice call, some dude turns on his camera and it's just like, 45-year-old guy. It's just fucking shirt off.
what's gonna be worse, the Call of Duty lobbies or the Splatoon lobbies?
Ooh.
Definitely
You know what
Splatoon lobbies.
I wonder if Nintendo has thought of, having an auto sensor filter. So if you're naked, it auto detects.
Oh,
that you're
like a
naked.
sense, like a blurring effect or whatever.
A blurring effect.
That'd be
Yeah,
interesting. I don't even know if
The
technology is there yet or
second, the
not.
second
do
it
that.
glitches out, though, lawsuit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Imagine. Oh, it would be
Because
funny.
you can- yeah.
Oh, wait. Parental controls. Or maybe, I don't know if they should explain it out, but what if, for the camera, and even just the microphone, what if there's a way to actually, if there's a swear word, it bleeps it automatically with like a Mario sound effect or something?
That'd be funny.
Yeah, what the? Wahoo!
Dude, I can't wait to just say fuck a million times and it sounds like I'm hitting a question block in Mario. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding,
Ba-ding,
ding.
Oh, God.
Did he really just say bing boom 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 boom? Like the Reggie Gigas, the Reggie sounds.
Yeah.
You're a
You're a piece of Mama Luigi, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's good.
Uh,
I love that we come up with these ideas.
See, this
Nintendo should
is
hire us.
Nintendo should hire us again. I remember, throwback. We did an earlier episode of the N10 podcast where we designed a Nintendo amusement park before they announced Nintendo Land or Nintendo World, mind you guys.
Did we actually do that before they announced
We
it?
did. I think
officially?
we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
You're still
my
trying
God.
to catch up to us.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. We're ahead of the curve.
Get on our
man.
level, bruh.
Come on,
Get
Nintendo.
it.
We're not
Get on
called
our level.
N10 for a reason, man. The ninjas didn't try to come after us for no reason, man. It's true.
And I'm still
Yeah.
surprised they haven't announced like a haunted mansion in Nintendo.
Oh, they will. They'll do a
Based on
Luigi's
Luigi's
Mansion at
Mansion.
some point.
Eventually, they should.
I
If
think
they don't,
yeah,
then they're losing money.
they will. I think they will. It'll just time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, all
Anyway.
right. I think we're nearing the end of our time here. I think the last topic we should talk about, and we talked about predictions. We've done shorts of it. We've talked about like what we're expecting. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Damn it! All right, someone else think of something.
Okay, biggest want for a new Switch 2 game from an existing franchise or not? What is your biggest hope?
You know what?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just thinking this before we started. The new 3D Donkey Kong looks great. I can't stop thinking about it. And then I just had like this vision, this epiphany or whatever.
Mhm.
3D Wario's gonna come back. And it's gonna be
Ooh.
Odyssey level. And it's gonna go insane. I want that now. No one's asking for it yet. No one's want anything. I just was just struck with a vision being like, he's coming. The Wario Man's
You know what's
coming.
interesting? Yeah, but it's funny you say that because like think about it. You know, think about in Mario Odyssey how there was entirely new Donk City and all the Donkey Kong references. Now you have a 3D Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, no, this is all about mining. We'll probably see gold and then see a Wario reference and then, oh, secret. Now we got Wario.
Hey, there's
Ooh.
that $20 DLC you were talking about, the Wario DLC.
Oh my god. Yeah, imagine that. Oh god. Okay, no, that's a good pick. I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay. Pokemon, I think it's gonna be great. You know, regardless, I think it's gonna look phenomenal. Which I'm so happy that there's gonna be Switch 2 versions of them. But if I could think of like, okay, I think you already does it. I'm gonna say Splatoon. I think Splatoon is gonna look really, really good. I'm hoping.
What more do you...
Well, wait, what more do we need exactly? I don't know. That's why I think it should be at least 2 years until we get Splatoon 4. I think Splatoon 3 still still has its up and ups, and you can still play it on the Switch 2. I don't think it makes sense to do a Switch 2 version of Splatoon 3. That I feel like just kind of doesn't really, what really more are you getting from it? I mean, graphically,
I mean, it could run better.
It could,
No.
maybe the connections were more stable. That could be funny. Unless the
Access
updates.
to the
Yeah,
Splatoon 1
DLC.
maps.
The frames would look better.
Yeah,
Like 20 frames Splatoon.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. That's why I'm thinking like if they do Splatoon 4, give it some time, figure out exactly what you want to do with it, and it'll look great. But that aside, I think
It needs to be a battle royale, I think.
I think a battle
it needs
royale
to
would
be
be
a
really
Splatoon
cool.
battle
I think that would be
Splatoon
sick.
4 Modern Warfare.
But what I think would be great, just overall, I think like not expecting it at all. I'm thinking it would be like much more of like a wow, this is crazy. I'm hopping on board with the Kid Icarus hype, man. I'm thinking
Bro, that's what I was going to say, man.
I'm
Kid
thinking
Icarus.
You can't. This is why Sky can't have multiple choices, bro. You get one.
Fuck,
don't
I do
pick
this every time.
multiple.
I feel bad. I'm sorry. No, but all right. I'll let you guys explain. For me, for Kid Icarus, I think it'd be great because Sakurai's back working on Air Ride. Give the man a break. I think he deserves a break. I don't think we're gonna get Smash 6 anytime soon, or is it Smash 6? Yeah.
7. It'd be 7 now, right?
Oh, 7.
Yeah,
No,
it'd be
is it?
7.
No, 6.
No, it's
I mean,
6. It's
depends
6.
if you're
64,
counting
Melee,
3DS.
old.
If you're counting
hold on.
3DS and Wii U as
One.
two separate games, then
No, I
it's 7.
consider
it
If
as
you're
one.
counting them as one, it's 6. I count it
Yeah.
as 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's called Super Smash Brothers 4 Wii U and 3DS.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ultimate and then 6.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue though.
Yeah, sorry. So, but yeah, I think Kid Icarus would look great. I think, especially with the way that you can utilize the Joy-Con 2, is that what they're called now? With a bit more dynamic like movement, and with the mouse, that's essentially what you were using the stylus for on the 3DS version. Now you could use your Joy-Con as the stylus. So
I mean,
think
the gyroscope also works, but
yeah,
yeah.
but it'd really be interesting how they would
I don't
do
know if
it.
any of you guys played The World Ends With You, but the gyro controls for that did not work great at
Oh,
all
really?
for that game. And that was a DS game originally. Like, no, I don't wish that on anyone. Do the mouse
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. All right, but that's my pick. Kid Icarus. Go ahead.
Okay. You know what? Night Sky, you stole mine, but there's another one that I had in mind. What about Super Mario Maker 3?
Hmm. 3D.
Mm-hmm. So,
How would you do that?
get Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, and maybe some Odyssey stuff in it.
How can that
Sunshine, you
work,
can
though? Yeah.
easily do Sunshine.
Bro, you're going to be building that like Minecraft or something, low key.
N64,
Whoa, that'd be cool. You're on
work.
4 levels.
Galaxy could also work.
Mm.
So, Super Mario Maker 3D? I don't know.
Hmm.
Could work. They already did like a Zelda dungeon, a 2D Zelda dungeon maker. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
they
Possible.
could work something out.
Possible.
I could see it.
All right, Key, what do you got?
Yeah. Honestly, you guys have way like more unique and original ideas. I just really want like a. Okay, look, I know it would never happen, but I'd like to see like a spiritual successor to the Earthbound games, like brought to new consoles. I think something not exactly like Earthbound, because Itoy has said in the past that he doesn't want to do it. He'd rather see someone else make a game like Earthbound. And we have stuff like that. We've had like games that are like Deltarune that are inspired by it, and that's coming to the Switch too. And we have like fan games like Oddity that are pretty interesting. But if someone at Nintendo just like picked up an original idea and then made it like super like Earthbound without it being Earthbound, I would eat that shit up. I feel like a lot of people would too. Anyway, that's all I got.
Well said. Well said. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us on this episode. Unless anyone else has any lasting thoughts to say before we continue.
No.
Yeah, just
oh,
speaking
thanks.
on what Key was saying, I don't know.
Oh, true. There is Undertale. There you go.
If you want something
Yeah,
Earthbound,
I know. Like I
I mean-
said, Deltarune was inspired by it, and that's coming to Switch too. And Undertale
Sans'
also-
Ness. It's true. It's so true.
Oh no, God, not that dude. Yeah.
All right.
right.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the N10 podcast. We appreciate it. Episode 21. Go have a drink if you can, if you're able to, if you're legal. Have a nice
Just
little
like
drink.
this podcast.
Yeah, just like this podcast.
Yep.
Have a drink to celebrate. We'll be back, of course. Look out for great content from all four of us. We're gonna continue to work hard and obviously save some coin for this, Switch 2 that's gonna cost almost $1,000 at some point. So we'll see you
We're
then.
all gonna have a story on how we get Switch 2.
Yeah,
so-
it should be an
Yeah,
interesting
drop
time.
the prices.
It should. More money. Yeah, bring it all up. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like we said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your night, whenever you're watching this, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
see ya.
Later.